could visualize pilgrims coming from all over, many of them hours, days, weeks, months, coming back to Jerusalem to go to this temple. And as they were coming, before they got to Jerusalem, forget the temple for a moment, but they used to sing the Psalms of Ascent as they were coming up to Jerusalem. Visualize that. Doesn't matter what direction you were coming from. There may have been some hills, but I told you the Bible says you always went up to Jerusalem. Didn't matter what the direction was. But there were these Psalms of Ascent in worship, in expectation, anticipation, the thrill of it all. And then when they would get here, I want you to remember, they were coming up to get to Jerusalem. Then they're coming up to get to the temple site. And then once you got up, there were, if you went through the whole the gates, it came up into the major plaza, which was known as the plaza of the court of the Gentiles. Okay, then after that there was the court of the women. After that there was the court of the men. Then there was the court of the priests, and only the high priest could get into the Holy of Holies, if you could visualize this. Hundreds of thousands of people coming back for some of the feasts, and they were coming up as they came to Jerusalem. Then they're up as they're going up to the temple, and then you came out. I said tunnel. They were beautiful, high, wide, spectacular, and then you'd come right up into the court of the Gentiles. And then there were steps to go from the court of the Gentiles to the court of the women. They could only go so far. And then more steps for the men. And then there were more steps for the priests. And then he was even higher for the high priest. The whole idea, psychologically in your mind as you're thinking, we're going up to see the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the sovereign of the universe. And so it's up, 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 until the Holy of Holies. And the Shekinah glory of God, the divine presence, left the Holy of Holies because of the sin of the nations. Shortly before the Babylonian captivity, God said, I'm not going to be defeated. You sinned, I'm going to let you get defeated. But in Ezekiel 9, 10, and 11, the Shekinah glory goes from the Holy of Holies to the eastern gate, first to the threshold of the temple, then the east gate, then up to the Mount of Olives, and then off to the east, and was written, Ichabod, the glory is departed, the divine presence. When Jesus came, in him dwelt the fullness of the Godhead in bodily form. If they would repent of their sin, then the glory, the Shekinah, the dwelling of God in their midst would have been there for blessing once again. And they did not repent, so he wept over the city. And he says, you will continue under the control of the nations until the Mashiach comes back. When Jesus comes back, it will be the return of the glory of God to a rebuilt millennial temple. And we could tell you all the dates of these past temples and the destruction. I'll tell you in 3 hours and 42 months and 2 days, this next temple is going to be built. No, don't write that down. That's supposed to be a joke. But I want you to visualize the idea of going up, going up, going up, going up, and the holiness of this place. And if you think it's something now, you ain't seen nothing until you read Revelation chapter 22 and some of the description of what this is going to be like.